And then autism. Early intervention can help children lead more normal lives, which is why an advocacy group launched a novel website today offering video clips of autistic children to help parents spot the disorder in their kids. But not everyone in the medical community thinks this is such a great idea. Here's ABC's John Donvan.
Click on the left, and it's a toddler doing things toddlers do when they don't have autism, like understanding the cue that grown-up wants to be handed the bottle. Click on the right, and here's another toddler. He has autism, and he just never seems to get it. It seems like a subtle difference that lots of kids might have missed that cue, but such are the distinctions experts look for when making a diagnosis of autism. There are many other behaviors that can signal autism in young kids. The Autism Speak site has posted what it calls a glossary of them for parents to refer to.
The video glossary is a great first stop. If parents even suspect there might be something wrong, it's a safe place to go and find out, is my child okay, or do I need to talk to my doctor further?
There are literally hundreds of books available for parents that describe symptoms of autism. The drawback to books is that correctly diagnosing autism requires real observation. There is no blood test for autism. There's no genetic screen for it. You actually have to see children in action. See this little boy on the Autism Speak site. He never makes eye contact. He has autism. This boy does not. But you really have to watch closely to see the difference. Right there, eye contact. We've slowed it down so you can see it again. But some feel that putting up videos like these can be confusing and could panic new parents unnecessarily.
I would be worried if parents use this as a diagnostic tool to look at a single part of it and say, oh, my child does this, my child's autistic.
What everyone agrees on is that the earlier you spot autism, the sooner you can take steps to help these kids, and there are steps to take, but the younger you start, the better, even when the kids are, like these, heartbreakingly young. John Donvan, ABC News, Portland.
So, as we say, a lot of medical news. And it does seem as if we get bombarded by new studies, new findings, new theories, perhaps new cures every week. So how do we distinguish the important from the less important? And so we turn to our medical editor, Dr. Tim Johnson. Tim, people at home have a right to be somewhat confused. How do you distinguish between what of these studies are important and which are not so important?
Quite frankly, Charlie, it's become a very difficult task. And as you know, we have developed in our shop a research network of over 12,000 experts on email, categorized into over 200 subspecialties. And we use that every day to help us sort out what is important and what is not. And so today, for example, on all three of these, we had some feedback from the experts that help us put it in perspective.
All right, let's take one of them. Let's take John McKenzie's report on this test that may give you an early signal as to who's to develop Alzheimer's. That's way down the pike if this ever comes in to use. So how do we know if that one's important?
Well, we don't at this point until further studies are done. But the experts had a uniform mixed reaction to it today when I read the responses. They're very excited about the idea of a simple blood test, but they point out that this is so preliminary, it has to be verified by future studies. That's the rock on which preliminary promising results often crash. Future studies to support the first study, the preliminary results. And as John said rightly, it'll be 5 years before we know whether this is real or not.
All right, so that's what you do to distinguish the important from the other. What does somebody at home, they see a report on a disease that may affect them, where do they go?
I answer by saying the same thing that we have to do. We have to know our sources. They should go to the information highway and ignore all the litter and go only to the sources where they know the names. Major medical centers, Mayo, Cleveland Clinic, Harvard, Johns Hopkins, to people that they know as reliable sources. There is too much junk on that information highway, and I say go only with the sources that you know from experience are trustworthy.
All right, Dr. Tim Johnson, thanks very much.